Man, this episode has it all. Dave Chappelle, a $200 car, 865 miles, 2 days, 13 gas stops, and a guy who tried to buy this thing out of a bar.
It was so much fun.
You gotta see it.
It's wild.
Welcome to the show called My Two Daves, with a side of Fred Williams, who's currently the cinematographer. We're gonna attempt to drive this pile from LA up to Spokane. I might not make it the whole way. This is the 1951 Plymouth from...
It's from Roadkill Garage.
No, Hot Rod Garage.
Sorry.
Don't blame me for that thing.
It also might not make it the whole way.
So this thing is 51 Plymouth on a what chassis?
It's a 51 Plymouth on a 79 Monte Carlo chassis, but it's got a Chevy 250 and a Turbo 400 out of a Chevy pickup, I think, from 1980.
And the interior is all gacked out and everything. It is pure garbage.
It's pure garbage. They basically gave it to me.
Yeah.
Just to get it out of the warehouse. But I love it.
So the first thing you're gonna see here is Chappelle arriving in my driveway with this pile, and I'm gonna try and put the Demon tune-up on it so that we can make it all the way from LA to whenever I hop out.
And I'll go somewhere after that. I don't know. Let's go get tacos first.
All right, Chappelle just showed up at my house with this 51 Plymouth, and I've never seen it before, and he popped the hood, and it's got all kinds of wrong. Even if you overlook the fact that it has a 250 inline six with an integral intake manifold.
It's such...
You know what? Is that what this is? That
Yeah.
valve cover looks weird.
No, this is like a 1980 Chevy truck motor.
When they built the intake right into the cylinder head.
Which I think is why it also has a Turbo 400 instead of a Turbo 350. Yeah, I bought this pile from MotorTrend, and it was like nobody else showed any interest in it. And I was like, oh, maybe I could take that. And then they're like, it's yours. For like no money. So now I am a bunch of money into this car, and it's still garbage. It was one that was on Hot Rod Garage, and I watched the episode, and everybody hated the car.
Yeah.
It was like this, like, wah, wah, wah. So we've got to redeem it. It's got to be whatever it's could be glorious.
When we were talking about this car, I asked Lucky Costa about it, and he said, when we got it, the body was tech screwed to the frame.
Yeah, it was. It's not much better now. Lucky built body mounts for it. He lowered the seat so that he actually fit in it. And they got it to run long enough to drive like 4 miles to the beach.
Yeah, that's it.
And then it wouldn't run after that. And then they towed it back, and I bought it. Here we are.
And the end of the story will be coming soon. This radiator is ridiculous, and it runs terrible. I think the first thing I'm going to do is check the timing on it.
Yeah.
And we're going to start to fiddle around for vacuum leaks.
All right. Yeah, this thing's had a carburetor issue since I've gotten it.
I don't even know what that is.
It looks almost like a Weber downdraft weird thing.
It does, but it's not.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like the Temu of custom cars.
We do this for fun.
Definitely don't do it for a living anymore.
Where do you suspect the timing mark is on this pooch? It has the kind where you're supposed to drop a tool down in a hole that senses and all that junk, but I'm gonna eyeball it and it'll be fine. Fire it up and try not to blow coolant in my face.
Copy that. All right, let me jump in here and hot wire it and start it and try not to run you over.
This is the hot wiring every time we start it.
Shove that in there. And then you gotta pull it out to stop the car.
Oh, that is awful. Wow.
Do you want me to keep it running?
Yeah, keep it running. I still haven't found the mark. Here it comes. Okay, shut it off. Should it have 47 degrees of timing at idle?
I mean, I'm more of a Toyota guy. They would call for 5.
Yeah, it should probably want about 15 is my guess on this pooch. It's a little bit hard to see the timing mark on this, but it looked to me like it had 47 degrees of total ignition advance at idle, which is really bad. It might be why it's idling really fast, might be part of the reason why it's running really, really hot. He was also telling me it was pinging on the way here. That could be heat. That could also be the timing. I'm just going to retard a little bit and see what happens. Okie dokie.
Come on.
I got to cover my ears for the starter. It's so bad.
I know. I think it's flywheel issue. I don't know.
That sounds way too retarded. Wow. That does not sound right. That's weird. I retarded it so that it was 30 initial, and it sounds too retarded. But, and the other problem, of course, is with that tube thing, you can't really get a perfect read on it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the tube is at a different place and that there's actually a 0 mark.
Oh, wow. Got some PSI.
Oh yeah, it's got the power nozzle on there. Power jet technology right there.
It's more compression than this motor.
Aha! Okay, that's kind of what I suspected. I think that the actual tube is in a different place than the 0 that you use with your eyeball. That's what I suspected, and that seems to be the case. So the timing was wrong, but I only need to correct my methodology a little bit to find the actual number. See, when it's wet, you can read the numbers on it. This is going to be much better now. It's not as advanced as I thought it was. It's probably in the 28 range, but I need to fire it back up and look. Okay, getting my act together on eyeballing the timing marker on this pooch. This dog, this lovely equipment. Yeah, it's about 25 degrees, 22. Rev it up. No, and hold it. Okay, I have it at 17 degrees of initial timing and 32 total. So that should be correct. That is retarded a lot from where it was.
Really? Good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big, big change.
Okay.
And that's going to stop pinging and stop overheating and stop performance.
That's good, because it was performing way too good for me.
Timing set. Now what I want to do is fire it up, and I'm going to use my brake clean to check for vacuum leaks. The thing I have found on these Chevy inline sixes is they often run so good, but they shake enough that the carburetor comes loose on them.
Yeah.
And that seems to be true even with this aftermarket adapter and whatever it is.
I think that's a factory one. I mean,
That's not a factory carburetor, is it?
It's gotta be. I mean, who would go out and buy a carb that has all these vacuum things on it and junk?
Yeah. Is it a factory?
Yeah,
It looks like it's on the manifold.
The
I don't
other
know.
one, The other side looks like it's definitely part of it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm ignorant of it, and I fear things I don't know.
We all do, David.
Yeah. And that is loose.
Lucky's, they basically called this car yard art.
Yeah.
They said this thing was never a driver, it was yard art, and somehow they were in charge of trying to make it run and drive down the road.
This carb was 100% falling off over here. That's why I kept asking, are you revving it up? Because I was spraying the brake clean and it was revving so much, it seemed like you were on it. Maybe it wasn't falling off. Maybe nobody ever wanted to tighten this nut because it's in an impossible place. So I set the timing, and then I started to search around with some brake clean to discover where the vacuum leaks were. And they were where they always are in these Chevy inline 6s, or probably others as well, which is the base of the carburetor. Carburetor had just shaken loose. This one nut is nearly impossible to get to, but I will overcome because it's what we do. And because we have to go to Fred's tonight because Fred has beer and we don't. It has a primary and secondary barrel, apparently. Yes. This thing is still really hot.
Yeah. It got up to like 200 right away just from running it.
Just now?
Yeah.
That radiator is terrible, and with no airflow.
Well, and I didn't have the electric fan turned on.
Not that it'll do anything when you do. Let me get a Phillips. I have to adjust the idle screw. Do you want to just throw a small block in it while we're here?
It was on my questions of if that has to happen, can we make it happen?
It's the same bell housing bolt pattern.
Yeah. The transmission's far enough forward, we wouldn't have to cut the firewall for the valve covers, I don't think.
No, it'll go right in. It drops on the same motor mounts too.
Yeah.
Looking for air fuel mixture screws. Oh, what's this say right here? Oh, dude.
What?
I know what this is. Okay. I've heard of this. I've never touched one. It's a Rochester Varijet.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Yeah, it's sort of like variable CFM based on how much the secondary air door opens. That's what that is. That is a Varijet. That is probably the original carburetor that came on this engine. And there's like 300 of you at home who have already commented, Freiburger, it's a Varijet. There's like a list of comments, and then they get to this point and they're like, oh, you finally figured it out. Okay, where's the idle mixture screw on a Varijet? I don't see the screws. This might be from that era where they didn't want you adjusting anything. Would you mind starting it again?
Fire in the hole, plug your ears.
Ready? You have to keep it running. Okay, shut it off. The idle speed screw is not touching the thing it needs to touch.
Yeah, I screwed around with that trying to figure out what was going on there. It's like it hits a cam or stops a cam during choke.
Right. Yeah, it idles faster when the choke is on is what it's supposed to do. But I'm not sure all your linkage is linking in the way it is designed to.
I'm sure the people at Pep Boys had their best Varijet technician on this rebuild.
Okay, that's just the idle up screw. I need the actual idle screw. I thought it was this one, but this one didn't do anything. Aha, got it. All right, will you see if it idles at 10,000 RPM now?
Checking for 10K.
Dave?
What'd you find?
Your PCV valve completely dangling in the breeze over here. Should have caught that before. Give that a shot. Still runs terrible.
Yeah. And it's not even, it's very terrible.
It's worse than it was?
It's a carburetor joke. Verijet.
Yeah, the Verijet. So, hold on. Way too high. Shut it off. Sometimes when the timing is super cranked like that, someone has done it to hide another problem, which is often a vacuum leak.
Yeah.
But, so now it's dying. Maybe, let me still fiddle. I've been working on this garbage for a while now. We still cannot get it to idle smoothly. I've messed with the timing. I've looked at all of the spark plugs. I've done the old man suck through the carburetor trick where you rev it up and then choke it with your hand and it pulls dirt through. That worked and made it run much better, but it's not 100% cured. The next thing I'm gonna do is pull apart the top of the HEI distributor and have a look and see if the advance mechanism is working right. And the reason for that is every time we fire it up right now, it has a different problem. Sometimes it idles fast, sometimes it dies and idles slow. It's just sort of all over the place, so I'm still messing with it. I tore the distributor apart. There's nothing wrong with it. It's brand spanking new and the mechanism is just fine. Looking inside the cap, the terminals inside are really long. And the reason for that is that it's a 6-cylinder cap. And it could work on a odd fire V6 or an even fire V6 or an even fire inline 6. That's why it's really long there, because sometimes it's gonna spark here, and with the odd fire, sometimes it'll spark over here. And so they make it sort of universal that way. But I'm gonna put this all back together because nothing's wrong with it. The distributor's back together. The next thing I'm gonna do is remove the carburetor because I can't get at the idle mixture screw, and we're gonna fiddle with that and see if that's the problem. I hate that Verijet.
You're gonna learn to love it, David. To hold the carbonator on. We were able to chase the threads, and there's plenty of threads below that section that ripped out, so I think we're good. We'll just need to either run a bolt in or like sink that stud in there a little bit farther. That should be good. That right there isn't going to be our actual problem. We'll find out the real problems later.
Okay, I took the carburetor off because I wanted to get at the idle air mixture screw, which is right here. In the 80s, it was super common for the manufacturers to plug access to the mixture screws, and somebody has already broken that off of here, which is good. So I was able to adjust that. The bad news is that while removing the carburetor, something hit the ground. And Chappelle said, what was that? And he grabbed it and he said, is the carburetor stud supposed to have the manifold threads on it? There's literally like a piece of threads right there off of the intake manifold, but that's okay because the intake manifold is cast in one piece with the cylinder head on this lovely piece of General Motors engineering. And so there's no fixing that. Fortunately, I think there's enough threads left that we can grab it, but that was high comedy. And I adjusted the idle mixture screw out 3/4 of a turn. And so now we will fix the threads, put it back together, and everything will be great. And we will be at Fred Williams' house in like 3 hours.
Piece of cake.
Right.
I mean, that's...
Here's something else you'll notice about this intake manifold. Look, it's a spread bore. It is a 2-barrel, and look how the secondary is larger than the primary.
So this is a spread bore. It's half of an actual spread bore carb?
That's right. It's a spread bore 2-barrel.
Huh. Funky.
Varijet.
Freiburger messed with the idle air mixture, or the fuel air mixture, and we should be pretty good to fire this thing up and see if it'll idle, if it'll take a little bit of a load, if it's ready to hit the road, if the refrigerator's cold, if the regenerative braking is working. We're about to hit it. That was an EV joke.
I got it.
We ran out of daylight. Are we driving tonight?
Probably not. Do you have headlights?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what I did all morning. I wired in headlights and taillights and brake lights.
You're way more functional than I am.
I know. It doesn't run, but what else?
Ready to see if it runs better?
I have high hopes.
I should say ready to fire it up and see it run better?
Yeah, there we go. All right. I need a better under the dash light.
Your camera's got a great view of the master cylinder. Let me solve that for you.
Yeah, I was trying not to screw your shot up too bad.
Go ahead. I messed up your shot by making your camera fall.
That's all right.
Collabs. They work great.
Yeah.
I'm holding this because shaking it.
Oh, that
Man,
sounded
that starter's
terrible.
horrible.
It's not doing anything different.
It's what?
I said it's not doing anything different.
Yeah.
It's like a placebo screw that you found underneath there.
I know. Yeah, doesn't run better at all. Is that when you just leave anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently we're leaving anyway. All right, we just decided that we were going to stand around a little bit more this evening. Actually, Dave's going to take it out and go for a test drive and see if it's even drivable. It doesn't seem like anything is really repaired. And I'm going to stand here and listen for his phone call in case I need to go rescue him.
All right. What could go wrong? It was
Good morning.
morning. Yeah, I slept on Dave's couch last night, and the Mexican food kicked in hard at 4 in the morning. I was like, oh my gosh. Can confirm. Let's hit the road. We were burning daylight already. We got out here at like 6:30, and it's now like 7:30 after he did the street sweeping car shuffle.
Yeah, had to move about 7 cars. Last night we really accomplished nothing, right?
No, I talked about like setting the tow and like fixing things, and we ended up just drinking tall cans.
Yeah.
Whatever. We got to do that too. We got the rest of our lives to work on junky cars.
Boy, I'm sort of groggy. I'm sitting here completely just not even awake. All right, our goal is to drive this thing all the way up to his place around Spokane, Washington. And I'm going to have to hop out at one point probably because I've got this new job at National Hot Rod Association, professional drag racing. And my very first event is next week.
Yep.
And I'm going to have to fly home from this trip and land and then get on another plane. And so we'll see how far I make it.
Yeah, he needs to jump out Friday night or Saturday morning at the latest. And if we make it to Spokane and you're flying out of Geg or whatever they call that one, that's a win.
Yep.
If you're flying out of San Luis Obispo, then I still have a long drive home.
Yeah, you do. Speaking of which, though, first goal today, Fred Williams' place.
Yep.
Let's
get there. First goal is 7-Eleven for coffee.
Yeah. Everything is awesome. Little starting fluid never fails. If there's spark.
This is going to become a thing. You didn't happen to have a fuel cell laying around at the house, did you?
I did not.
We made the first of probably 200 gas stops today. We're going to end up with a stack of receipts like that thick.
Yeah, every one of them for 2 gallons. All right, we're cruising the 51 Plymouth out of town.
Yeah.
On our way to Fred's.
Couple of real cool dudes. It does this at this speed.
It surges.
Yeah. It's like not happy about not being in second or third. Oh, stay running.
He's still having to keep it running. He's 2-footing it.
Yeah.
My head is fully into the headliner. This is why I usually don't have a headliner. Who chops the top and leaves the cheesy?
I mean, this isn't cheesy. This is like marine grade.
Yeah, I guess.
Military grade.
The quality of the installation, I think. All right, let's get on the highway.
You also have to keep the nut for the steering wheel tight at all times.
Okay.
These two are they're stripped. This one's the only one doing its job, so you just gotta keep fiddling with that.
Awesome. They're more like pins than bolts.
Yeah. Oh man, from that angle it looks so good. What a turd. Did you see the gauges that this had when I got it?
No.
They had a piece of cardboard screwed here with a photocopy of gauges.
That's pretty good.
Hear it pinging?
Was it?
Yeah.
Yep. That can also be from being super lean.
Really?
Yep. Well, at this point, it's getting bad. The traffic is pretty hideous, and we're now at 220 degrees.
225.
225. 0 oil pressure.
It comes up to 2 right here, like at 900 RPMs. It gets up to about 2 psi.
Okay.
So it's got something. We just need to get moving. This is a going car. It's not a sitting car. It's kind of a garbage car.
It's got low oil pressure, but you can't hear lifters doing bad things.
No. That's a question I had for you. When you do an oil pressure gauge, do you ever bleed all the air out?
Nah.
You just let it have the air and oil bubbles in there? I wasn't sure if the air compresses a little bit and doesn't show proper oil pressure.
It bleeds out.
We're definitely not out of gas yet. It just runs like poo.
It's not out of gas?
No.
Okay, we are on the highway. The traffic is lightening up a little bit. It was down to 195 degrees, but then it started running bad. We thought it was out of gas because it only has a 2.5 gallon gas tank, or is it 4?
It actually only took like a half gallon. We might be getting 40 mpgs out of this thing now.
We might be.
No.
So we're just touching it up. Man, this thing looks good.
It's good? Is that what you said?
It looks great. Here, let me shut the door.
Yeah.
Because having the door open is
Killing
sort
it.
of ruining the body lines. Ready?
It's not bad.
Look at that. Oh, that is a thing of beauty and a joy to behold forever.
I haven't seen another one like it today.
You never will. We've noticed nobody else has a 51 Plymouth in traffic out here. All right, we're gonna sit here and wait for it to cool down, get back on the road. Well, we're side of the road and we had planned on taking off, but instead we decided to retard the ignition timing because it's pinging bad.
Very bad.
Now you remember yesterday when I was working on this, I did set the timing properly, but then when we were trying to make it idle, I ticked some more timing into it. So I'm gonna pull that back and I might disconnect the vacuum advance, but you know what? It pings at wide open throttle evil, so I have to dial it back. So I got my 9/16 here. Wow, the side of that block is hot. And I have memorized the location of the vacuum canister when the timing is correct. It is right there. See, that screw is my eyeball. Right there.
All right. So it's going to run great now? Is that what you said?
It's going to be awesome. This thing's so cool.
I mean, it looks the part. It doesn't drive the part, though, yet.
You know what? I think it drives exactly how it looks.
It does. Thanks.
You want to see if it'll run with that timing in it?
Yeah, sure.
Let's give her a shot. It's idling.
It's idling.
I'm a genius.
Yeah, sure. I bet you if I put it in gear, it's not gonna.
Okay, find out. So it's idling fast. Yeah, it dies in gear. It can't handle a load. And now it's running differently than it was a minute ago. This thing is like the, it's like the Jeopardy wheel on what it wants to do each time.
Every time it's different. It's idle. The second ago is at like 2,000 RPMs and now it's at like 600.
We're back on the highway and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's down below 190 degrees.
And it's at 25 PSI on the oil, so we're moving now. It's not trying to kill itself.
The colder the oil, the thicker it is, the more pressure that it has. So the reason it's running colder is likely that I retarded that timing. If the timing is too far advanced, it tends to make it run hot because it starts the ignition sooner and exposes the whole cylinder to heat for a longer period of time over a greater area. I believe that's why too far advanced timing tends to make stuff run hot.
Yeah. We also did come over the hill down into the coastal side.
Yep.
And it's probably 15 degrees cooler outside.
And we're rolling instead of sitting in traffic.
Yeah.
So all of those things add up to the fact that we're making it to Fred's.
There's a huge hill going up to Fred's house in Paso Robles. It used to be the killer when I was driving stuff like this. We would go up to the Cruising Nationals and there would be dead customs all over that hill.
Yeah.
And that was back before it was like wide. It was like a 2-lane road up this hill and it was just like you broke down on it and you were blocking traffic.
How come custom cars, even when they're done well, the engine's always garbage?
I have no idea.
You knew where I was going with that.
Yeah, no, it's impossible to, you can take a perfectly running Chevy truck and take the motor out of it, put it in a 50 Ford.
It becomes trash.
It's garbage.
Right. Why is that?
It'll always run hot.
Yeah.
You'll always be chasing problems.
So far, we've gassed up once, then filled it up at the side of the highway, and this is gas station number 2.
This one's actually taking some fuel.
So here's the thing. You'll notice I'm having a cup of coffee.
About damn time. I mean, It's about darn time.
Strangely enough, up until about 4 weeks ago, I had had one complete cup of coffee my entire life, and it was with Rick Payway at the cafe in Desert Center, California.
Nice, good spot for it.
He told me it was the best cup of coffee ever, and he forced me to try it. And I drank the whole thing, but that was it for my whole life.
I can't believe he fooled you with the best cup of coffee.
At Desert Center.
Yeah.
And just 4 weeks ago, I picked it up and started doing it, started warming up, because I knew I was taking this trip with Dave, and there was no way to avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I'm gonna burn myself. I've been a Coca-Cola guy this whole time for my caffeine addiction.
Yeah. The problem is the Coca-Cola, the caffeine there also comes with all the...
A pound of sugar.
A pound of sugar and a bunch of chemicals and food coloring. And
so, to be a man, I tried to drink the coffee black at first.
no,
So I ended up having to throw a little milk in it or a little cream,
yeah,
but no sugar. I don't do the sugar.
that's the way to do it.
I'm also trying to avoid the whole pumpkin spice or hazelnut or vanilla or...
Once you get comfortable with coffee with half and half, it's like, that's all you want. Anything with flavoring starts tasting fake and synthetic. And
it's the same way I don't like your chelada beer with the mango flavoring.
yeah.
That's no good.
We're making miles. We're almost to the coast.
It's running cool and it has 20 pounds of oil pressure.
This is awesome. And we look cooler than that dude, sort of, at least in our minds.
Yeah. All right, Fred, we're coming for you. I just wanted to show everyone what it looks like when you're shooting your show.
Oh, it looks like that?
Yeah. See?
Oh, yeah.
The space-time continuum's freaking out.
Oh, geez. Yeah,
Right.
I can see. Oh, I can see me, a little me in that lens, and then a littler me in that one.
Yeah, same.
And then a little tiny microscope me in that one.
I feel like an influencer in the wild right now.
It's so dumb.
40 miles later, fuel stop number 3.
Somewhere in Central California, about to go up the big hill up to Paso. So I figure we ought to retard the timing a little bit so we have less power.
Yeah, it's still pinging some. So while we're at this gas station, I'm just gonna knock it back a couple more degrees. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see. Let's put it on the other side of that. Okay. Big power. Oh, we went like 50 miles on this gas tank.
We went 50 miles. It took 2.9 gallons.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's
Really?
pushing 15, right?
That's great.
Yeah. And we might get one more out of it.
If this thing lives, it's going to be dialed by the time we get there.
Eh.
The question is, has it burned enough oil that we can now go to the Lucas
I
and
hope
increase
so.
our oil pressure? No, not yet. Still full.
All right.
And clean. Why isn't this thing burning more oil? I hate that. We just got off the highway and we're cruising to get gas again, like 40 miles later. And this thing's making a weird knocking sound. Listen.
It's not good. Sounds like the wheel is like hitting the brake caliper to me.
Yeah, like a loose wheel, or it seems to me it's in the front of the car, but it also sounds like a bad U-joint. And now it's not doing it. It only does it at low speed. I think the station's on the left, but it's also roped off and closed. Yeah, that's a fail.
No, there was one open on the other side.
Oh, I see.
let's work on cars at this gas station now.
Right? This is gas station number 5, and we also have to solve the weird knocking sound. So at this gas station, we were trying to solve that clunking noise, and we started to investigate, and I found that there was a front wheel bearing that was a little loose, so I dealt with that, just popped the cap, tightened it up. I was butch, didn't even take load off the tire. And then Chappelle discovered that the exhaust had fallen down. It was basically hanging from the spark plug wire that fires up the flamethrower on the exhaust. So he's under there wiring it up with just some electrical wire. So we're gonna smell insulation burning off for a while, but it'll be okay. For a reason other than hanging out?
We just got to drop off. Oh, fridge truck. We just got to drop off air compressor and drop off that torque converter for the Typhoon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, probably hang out for a minute.
Yeah, I haven't seen Fred a long time. Okay, I'm going to explain the obvious for many of you. Obviously, I came from the MotorTrend show, Roadkill, Roadkill Garage, Engine Masters. Chappelle was on the off-road show called Dirt Every Day, which of course started with Fred Williams, who we're about to visit.
Yep, Fred's my old homie, but I don't get to see him all that often because we live 1,200 miles away from each other.
There's Fred Lee, or at least his place. There's Fred right there. Yay, Fred.
It's great, isn't it?
You made it.
Thanks for having me, Fred.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good enough. It's getting better. This thing was absolute garbage. I couldn't get it out of Frank and Trina's. Like, I was stuck in their sidewalk for like an hour while I was trying to figure out how to hotwire the coil.
You were supposed to be here last night at 5.
Yeah.
Now it's today at 4:30.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Conceal the shock from your face.
Oh my! What could have possibly gone wrong?
Never saw that coming. Yeah, we were supposed to be up here yesterday, but we weren't. We're doing pretty good though. We ended up going to the taco shop by his house last night and having beers.
That's all you needed.
So,
does it still have like a 2-gallon fuel tank?
Yeah.
It's 4.
It's 4.
It's 4 gallons.
Yeah, have a look.
It's awesome.
It's really good.
Let's see if you can spot what it came from. Oh, while we're in here, I've got some stuff to deliver to Fred and Fred's friends.
Oh, yes.
This is for Jeep and Joe.
Okay. One York air compressor.
And this is for the Typhoon.
Okay.
Just because.
And now that that's gone, we have nothing preventing stuff from falling clear through the
Isn't
front
that
floor.
awesome?
What is that even?
It's all I can gather is it's from the top of a generator.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
It's pretty great, huh?
I knew that was coming, so I can show you multiple fuel tank options.
There's a cooler room at Fred's house. There used to be a cardboard box room.
No, there is still a box room.
And then there was also a leaning tower of gas cans.
Yes, there's many gas cans. But I got a shipping container, so they all lived in that. So when that catches on fire, you better run.
All right, let's go scavenge.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the Illegal?
I don't think so.
This is Fred's flat fender that is just super awesome. We built it like slammed and linked and bagged in the back and low leaf springs in the front. Chopped the windshield. This was a good...
The Go Devil run where they have all these rules where it has to be all period correct. And we call this one the Illegal because it has everything incorrect. It's got a V6 with fuel injection, automatic transmission, airbag suspension, big tires.
All the wrong stuff, but it's so good.
All the good wrongness.
Yeah.
And it works pretty good. It needs about another week of work on, being fine-tuned, which is kind of the story of everything around here. It worked great for a TV show.
Yeah. He's just been fighting the spider injection on the 4.3 since day one.
That's a thing.
The fuel pumps are now blowing relays.
Oh, really?
And I just swap a relay and then it'll run again. And sometimes you can swap the relay back in.
Just get new fuel pumps.
Yeah, that's probably what it needs.
There's probably one right there.
There probably is.
And on the ground here is a 8.1 big block that came out of his Avalanche that just got crushed.
That was my first magazine project truck, and I was emotionally attached to it, and I should have thrown it away years ago. But I pulled it all apart this week to put all these parts in other vehicles. And when Dave used to work here, like this was all closed in. There used to be like storage rooms that were full of a bunch of junk that may or may not have been some sort of illegal farming operation in prior owners of my shop. But I tore it all out to make more room to work, and it's just turned into more room for
junk
getting piled up.
It's pretty good. All right, let's go work on junk.
All right, we need to find a gas tank for Dave's hoopy.
Okay, here's CJ10.
This thing is so good.
Over here's, what's this, camp Jeep?
Summer camp
Summer
Jeep.
camp Jeep. Yep.
That's his gold watch.
Flat fender.
That was the gold watch when they closed down the magazine.
Yeah, this thing's great. It's got an LSA in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty rad.
Super good.
You can see that it's been stretched out. It's a flat fender, but look at the size of the door opening on it, and look at the swank seats in that thing. In fact, I have to walk over here. This was a key to having the camp counselor look on this Jeep with the plaid. This is Fred's famous truck known as Clampy. Oh, and here's his crew cab FC, so good.
Alabama Army truck was
Mad Max is still here. Yep, diesel 73 or 74 Roadrunner. Oh, and here's Old Blue. Old Blue right here, if it'll focus on me. Old Blue right here was in an episode of Roadkill Garage where we did a shootout with my BJ5, the blown Jeep. There's a great photo of this thing coming out of a mud hole with those two guys kind of jumping the thing, getting all sideways. I was also in the episode of Dirt Every Day when that thing first came to be with Payway. This is Chappelle's new Typhoon that also came from the Hot Rod Garage
it's a
show.
CJ5 tank.
I think it's for the Willys wagon.
This is, I guess, where they're digging for trash cans.
There's a boat tank right
Trash
there.
cans, gas
You
cans.
can have that. There's another baby guy.
Oh, that was in. That was the gas tank. I want this.
Okay.
That was the gas tank that was from when we got that LS and put it in the motorhome, and then Freiburger took the LS back.
Oh, yeah.
Or one of those guys. I found a boat tank.
There's a giant fuel cell right there.
Heck no! Holy cow! Look at this. He's even got Plymouth gas tanks in stock.
Yeah, right
There it is.
You can get them in blue or black.
Oh, that is the fuel tank we have right there on that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our fuel tank.
Ready to go.
All right. I'm gonna rob this from Fred.
You need a can.
No, I got a can.
Here's dumpster truck right there. Trash pirate. Man, the resemblance to a Cybertruck is uncanny on that thing. Look at that. And over here, the Bronco pickup. Pretty awesome. And moving up the line, you will see the red Willys wagon that was on Dirt Every Day that I actually helped find Fred in a garage near my home. This thing was sort of a garage find. I drove by one day and a guy had his garage open and was cleaning it out and had this in it, and I'd never seen it before. So I stopped and talked to him. He was like, yeah, moving or something like that, gotta get out of here. And I told Fred, and he ended up buying that thing, and it wasn't as rust-free as I told him it was. Here's the Dirt Every Day Tracker. Range Rover. Ooh, GMC. What is that, a 65 or 6? I should know that cold, but I don't. And down there, if I zoom in, the Wagoneer. Wagoneers are so good. Fred's the first guy among my friends who bought one to just drive around like a regular vehicle, and it's super good.
That's my Eddie Bauer paint job on a bullet side Datsun bed.
I recognize it.
So good.
Oh, that's an AMC motor right there. 304 AMC.
Do you want that?
Other stuff? No, I'm trying to cut down.
Huh.
Unless you want to give it to me and then I'll store it here.
What's in that thing?
Air compressor. We got stuff kind of packed in here pretty good. And it hasn't burned a drop. Here we go.
And there's the 4.5 gallon unit right there.
We got to do the math on this thing. It might only be 3 gallons.
Are you not going to run both of them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm leaving that one here.
I know where it can go.
Can I have the fuel that's in it?
Fred had this metal from some project laying around, and it's like already the right size to fill this hole in the floor. I think we're just going to throw a little hose clamp to that Alden American crossmember, and that'll keep things from falling out the hole.
And when it catches on fire, we can grill on it.
Yeah, we can make dinner. We'll just have a little barbecue.
Putting Fred to work.
And he's even got the cordless tools out.
This is like dirt every occasional day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dirt randomly.
Random dirt. Just gonna hose clamp that baby right there.
Let's go.
Oh, and he's even got the power tool ready to go.
Yeah.
You guys don't mess around.
Professional fabric cobblers.
Freiburger, it's like we're putting in a transmission mount.
Yeah, exactly like that. That's a genius, actually.
That's pretty good. I'll just set a heavy thing on that side.
Yeah, that's saving our life.
Yeah. Yeah. Every stop
we
this thing
should
just
have done.
comes up.
We should have stuck these two under that.
Oh, it's not too late.
Redesign.
Redesign? Oh, I see what you're gonna do.
So that you don't stab yourself in the leg when you're sitting in the back of it waiting for the tow truck. There.
That's the way to go.
It is. Check out the brains on
Fredly.
Brian over here.
Brian. Brain. Here's one of my favorite things. Fred has worn 8274 winches absolutely everywhere. This is the holy grail. Not only is it the greatest winch ever made, this is a factory Jeep, either optional or aftermarket, like buy it across the dealership counter one. It says Jeep right on it.
But look at this.
You'll also notice that Fred doesn't actually sell anything ever.
No, I know.
This winch plate,
Yeah?
embossed Warren W.
Oh, that's a good one.
I have one of those at home.
The
Yeah.
embossed ones.
Is that key?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It just adds to the provenance.
The provenance.
Things like Pebble Beach ready.
This is great.
Actually, look at that. That is some good use of space, man. Come on.
I'm trying to get the close up on your finger coming off.
Always catch your buddy, not your body.
I almost got it right there. Done.
We're getting out of Fred's. We're gonna go grab some dinner with him and then hit the road after that.
We got 3 cameras going.
That's pretty good.
Bye, influencer Fred.
Have fun. Nerd alert. Let's go to the front yard and take pictures of this thing. Oh man, it runs so much better with that gas tank.
It looks so terrible inside profile. Look at the top. It sucks. good?
Oh, it stalled. That was so good. It's a performance car. Yeah.
We left Fred's. We may have spilled a little bit of gasoline on the way out. However, we have clocked it, and this junk is getting 20 miles to the gallon. Unbelievable. We're not exactly sure where we're gonna go right now. We know we have to head up towards Lodi. So we're gonna point that direction, see how far we can get.
So much more storage for gas. Good.
All right, we're still rolling, going into night.
Yeah.
Like Dave has this fancy light switch thing that makes us look like the Blair Witch Project.
That's fine.
Like this. It's like campfire stories. See?
So good. This thing's deluxe.
So I think that's going to be it for tonight until we get to our destination, if we make it to our destination.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere.
We're getting somewhere.
I think we still have 160 miles of driving. Oh gosh.
And panic stop.
Brake check.
This is real close to where James Dean died, just so you know.
It's stuck in third gear.
Stuck in third. Go neutral and back. There's neutral.
This car is awesome.
That's great. Fuel up number 7.
Lucky 7. We're crushing it. This car is crushing it.
Now what?
The muffler tailpipe fell off again, so I'm rewiring it up. We were hoping to find some baling wire at this truck stop, but this truck stop's weak. So we're using more of the Harbor Freight tower of wire. Turns out that's the most important thing on the trip so far. Here, how that works.
Number 8. This actually works. Look at my new high vis. I was freezing, so I got the Dave Glow yellow. He came up with that. After cruising into the night at about 10:30, we stopped at our buddy Alex Gambino's place, Gambino Customs. This guy is an old school restyler, fully into custom cars. So much good stuff in here. You might recognize Alex Gambino from an episode of Roadkill from a long time ago. Finnegan and I stopped by his place, which was in San Jose at the time, and I don't remember the storyline, but there was a Mercury Custom with the top cut off, and we had Dog with us, and anyway, we hung out, and we signed the door in his shop. And when he moved, he took the door with him. A lot of legendary names on this thing, and even us. Among the cars we looked at are this 38 Ford truck that has a 36 Ford passenger car front clip. Over here, Alex unveiled the Busonic. This, believe it or not, is a 1955 Buick. It was completely customized and painted by Larry Watson and finished in 1963. The side pipes. Look at the 57 Lincoln fins on this thing. Man, so many little details, such good color. Actually, this was like bright green when it was first done, but it was repainted. The Frenched quad headlights. Everything about this thing's genius. I wish I could see the interior a little bit more. He also pulled back the cover on the 63 Thunderbird, a body style that I love, 61 to 63. And I love also the paint on this thing, the purple, the interior, the stark white. That is a custom I could totally get behind. Over here, he's working on a 53 or 54 Chevy. Dig the Packard taillights, a very common custom technique back in the day. This 1962 Chevy Impala is becoming what Alex calls a 70s custom. Not quite a lowrider, but very, very close. He's doing custom paint work, which is different on every panel, completely asymmetric. This thing is gonna be rad. And with that, we headed out and we're gonna go crash for the night. And we're stunned how many miles that we made in the Plymouth. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Well, good morning. This is day 2 of the show we're now calling Dave's and Confused.
That's a good one.
Makes a lot of sense. We woke up in Lodi, California, had breakfast with Gambino at a place called Hollywood Cafe. Great old building, good food,
yeah.
Fake 50s on the inside.
He's really not into the fake 50s diners.
Do you dig it?
No,
it's not right.
I thought they all went away in the 90s, but apparently there's still one here in Lodi.
It's still a thing. What's our goal for today?
A lot of gas, a lot of coffee, 400 miles minimum.
Yep.
400 miles. We're 860 from my house. If we could make 500 miles today, so tomorrow's not as bad, that would be ideal, but this isn't ideal conditions.
It would be great. But first, gas stop number 9.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
We got 8 gallons though now. This is no longer the 4-gallon car. This
Thanks,
is the 8-gallon
Fred.
car.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stop.
All right.
Are you gonna drive through that mud right there?
I mean, we have to. We're here.
You're landlocked, you might as well, yeah.
Dirt guy.
Okay.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Wait, this is a setup. I've seen this before, Freiburger.
Which part?
The mud puddle part. When's the last time you made me drive through a mud hole?
Oh, that's when the butter Jeep sank in Moab.
2 years, the thing's still broken. I'm not breaking this car. Let's get in and go.
I'll help that. No? Oh, come on.
All right, I'll peel out.
All right. Well, he tried to get me, but failed. I think it looked pretty good, but it added no flair.
No, it felt like I was just in a car accident.
It's not a mud wall. I wanted it to have more, like, dirt.
That's just dirty highway water.
Here's some. That's not bad. We're out of here. Gone.
Why is it leaning so bad now?
Unbelievably, we continue to get 17 to 20 miles to the gallon with this turd.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's because of my crisp tune-up.
Yes. So crisp.
It's crisp.
It's actually getting better. If the thing had a working choke, it would almost be like a usable car.
The best part about stopping at Gambino's is that, you know, we went to the expert to actually confirm that this top chop is garbage.
Once he eased up to the fact that we weren't married to it, He was like, yeah, it's garbage.
Oh yeah, he left nothing on the table.
Yeah.
Our biggest problem right now is the steering wheel keeps falling off.
Yeah. I need shocks to my seat. It's like sort of bouncy toy at the park. This is ridiculous. It's so bad. We made it almost 100 miles and we spotted a bunch of old cars on the side of the road. Straight? Oh, that goes over the bridge.
Right.
I have done this before.
You think you've looked for these cars before?
Jeez, yeah, I think I went over the bridge and then got lost and was like, all right, I gotta get back on the road.
Consulting our map app to find this yard. Satellite images are great for finding junkyards, by the way.
Yeah.
Road trip tech tip.
Yeah, so I've been spotting, I mean, I've seen these like 50s Pontiacs and Buicks and stuff on the side of the road for years.
Turn right at the next one.
Figured we'd swing back around and see if they actually exist or if the guy wants to get rid of one, or maybe he needs to add a Plymouth to his collection.
51 Plymouth. Yeah, you got to get into the boat parts. Dude.
Yeah.
You can't be sticking with the GM. Okay, it's saying that it is immediately off to our right. Oh, it was right here. It's all gone. Look, it says the junkyard was right there.
That must be why this guy kept all the good stuff and just reorganized it.
Yep. So what I just saw is the satellite view shows a big junkyard right there, and we just drove past an empty field with a bunch of rows on it. All the cars got crushed and gone, except for a few over here that we saw from the highway.
This must be the owner's cream of the crop.
Yep. Okay, we're going back the other way, and I'm doing the over the shoulder on Chappelle, but here's the yard I was telling you about. Right there.
That totally explains why I thought I saw a bigger yard at one point in time.
Yep. Yep, that is a cleared out junkyard. Just think, all of that stuff got crushed.
Yeah. Back to the highway. Well, back to a gas station, but I think we're about out of it. What's the color? Is it canned ham or is it terracotta?
Well, it's technically red oxide primer, but it's too red for that.
No, it's just new.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that why it's not browned out yet?
Yeah. Well, I guess you're right. There's certain red oxides that are pretty red, that are pretty brown. This thing might actually just not even be red oxide primer. It might be barn paint.
Might be. Traffic's coming to a stop. Dave's doing preventative measures, hooking up the fan. It's at 195 degrees.
It's doing all right today. We're at 0 oil pressure though, currently.
Ah, well.
I wonder if we've dripped enough or leaked enough to put some Lucas in it.
I hope so, or burned enough. Why is this engine refusing to burn oil? It makes no sense to me. Did it just run out of gas?
No, it just ran out of talent.
The Parajet has no talent. 10.
Don't worry, I'll get this one.
I'm always shooting.
Side of the road problems.
Harbor Freight wire's going good.
We just need to keep that out of the drive shaft.
That's true. That'd be hilarious, though.
The Harbor Freight tower of wire sort of self-destructing.
I feel I might have to fix this.
We stop every 100 miles to re-spool our wire, whether we need it or not.
Yeah.
We will pick that up. Is there anything other than hold a bunch of cameras I can do to help?
Is there any what?
Anything other than hold a bunch of cameras that I can do to help?
No, you look great.
Thanks. I feel awesome.
Influencer in the wild.
From this angle, you can really see how the bump in the chop looks, how good it looks.
If you threw a match, it would help end the video really well. I didn't pour it all in. I saved a little bit for the arson, but we have enough to make it to the next station, which will be number 11.
Nice. Freiburger, I think we only have to go a mile.
Okay.
Let's go to the gas station.
We filled up at the side of the road. I just checked in for my flight, and Dave is doing gas stop number 11. How you know this is old? It's $1 something for gas. And now it's puking water out of it. Climbing the hills over here in these winding mountain roads, which are really, really cool, it was getting hot. And when we pulled over to get some beauty shots, it started puking water on the ground. And what is it, Dave?
It's the water neck, and I think the lower radiator hose. Gosh, I'm all fried. Windburn.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's the water neck or the thermostat housing leaking down, and then I think we also need to put a cinch on the lower radiator hose.
Okay.
We can do this. We have the technology.
Okay, I can see it's dripping right there. So I will use the Dave Chappelle Signature Series field repair kit and cinch that up, and then he's gonna work on the, what do you call it, water neck up top.
Was that hose clamp as loose as it looked?
Yeah, of course. Okay, calling that fixed. Here's the other place it was leaking, right there at the water neck. You can see this thing has a cool Plymouth plate on the firewall here. Did you know that Plymouth is not named for Plymouth Rock and the Pilgrims? They fool you by putting a Mayflower on there, but in fact, Plymouth cars were named for Plymouth twine. Yeah, string. It was a super popular kind of twine that was used by farmers back in the day, and people loved it so much and knew it for its quality that that's what they named the cars for, Plymouth. Fixed, hit the road?
Yep, let's roll.
Out of here.
Next up, the Bigfoot Eatery, Bigfoot Tavern.
Cafe, bar.
Whatever it is, we're heading towards Bend. We're gonna go grab some dinner.
The steering wheel falling off is a little disconcerting.
Yeah, I agree.
what's the story on these wheels?
I couldn't stand the wheels that were on it at Hot Rod Garage. It needed true white walls, and I was trying to find these 670/15 Firestone bias plies because it's the best white wall. And I found these ones used in just south of Salem, Oregon. So I picked them up on the way down when I picked up the Typhoon and the Hot Rod. But one of them was garbage, so I ended up having to have Mason help me get a freshie.
Yeah.
So.
But they're old Corvette wheels?
Yeah, the wheels are off of a 58 Corvette, and they're drum brake wheels, but this is a disc brake car, so I wasn't sure if they were going to work.
And the rear ones are riveted together.
Yeah, the rears are riveted, and the front ones are like spot welded. The front ones actually clear those geometric calipers, so unfortunately I had to throw my brand new tire on the back, which you usually don't want to do.
Yeah. You would put the new tire on the front for less depth.
Yeah.
12. You know what? We're standing here. 3 different people told us it was a nice car. You know, it's all that matters, right?
Yeah, that's all we're here for.
Not that cold just standing around, but it is freezing in the car. And as you may expect, I have no shoes. And I'm choking to death.
You'll be all right.
No shoes and dying. However, I did finally acquire a coffee cup.
Proper.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm having chili mangoes for dinner.
Yeah, I had chips.
Let's keep going. We have like 155 miles to go.
Freezing!
Still freezing, getting worse. 75 miles to go. Anyways, there's hopefully a hotel room with a heater.
Then we got to Crescent, Oregon, and we went to Bigfoot Tavern. And this place is cool because it's owned by a guy named Matt, who is a friend of Fred Williams. And there's all sorts of stuff all over here. There is a Dirt Everyday TV show bar stool here. There's a lot of stuff from Gambler 500 and 4x4 stuff, and Roadkill, because we shot an episode there. But Chappelle and I went inside for some free popcorn, of course. And there was a guy, well, let me just show you. This is what happened.
No, that's
How much are you offering for the car?
Me out of it.
I'll give you $2,000 for your car right now. With the title.
$2,000.
And I'll buy you a round of drinks.
Oh, well then. You know what?
It's getting real now.
It would be gone.
How much?
Except.
How much you need?
What's that?
How much you need?
I think what I got to do is revisit the $2,000's not the problem. It's how I'm getting home and how he's getting on a plane tomorrow morning.
Yep, at 6 a.m.
I can drive you to the airport.
No. I'll pass on that.
I'm gonna have to pass as much as I want.
All right.
Yep.
I want your money.
All right.
All right, you two. Have a
Good one.
Thank you.
Well, that was a close one. We nearly had that problem solved. Nearly.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Oh, she'll never see
I
this.
could have made money on this pile.
And we couldn't sell him the car because I have to be at the airport tomorrow. Let's hit the road and we'll wrap this thing up. All right, this is fill up number 13 and I am out of here. I gotta remind you, you can see Dave's version of this road trip on the Dirthead Shed on YouTube. Make sure to check that out. I've got to dip out right now. We're in Redmond, Oregon. He's got another, 6 hours to go tomorrow?
Yeah, 6 hours.
Meanwhile, I will be home studying for my new job at the National Hot Rod Association. But you know what? Come back next time because we're gonna have more action on the David Freiburger channel.
You're dipping out like the roof.
Yeah, of the car. See what he did there? I get it. Nice.